Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. And a special thank you to you, Devin, for organizing this event. I'm excited to share my journey in automation with you and how I started my company, Simply Flows, what our product is about. This is our agenda for today. I will start with an overview of process automation, some trends, some common use cases. Next, I'll do an introduction and a demo of Simply Flows. And at the end, as Devin mentioned already, we'll have some Q&A. Also, I will ask you to please fill in a one-question survey at the end. And the question will be, if you could automate one task or process, what would that be? I hope you would walk away with a better understanding of what process automation is, and most importantly, you will start looking for and finding opportunities for optimization and automation in your work or your life. Anything that could be automated should be automated, or at least considered for automation.
I'm going to pause and just ask, Can everyone mute on the call? I'm hearing some background noise. So can everyone who's listening in mute? Okay. Well,
I think it's better now. All right. Thank you, Devin, for introducing me. You can see my contact info on the screen here, and I believe we'll be sending out a follow-up email after the meetup, so you will have all those links there. Throughout my career, I have had many opportunities to improve efficiency and productivity, whether building a reporting tool or implementing a process automation in a logistics company, or eliminating inefficiency and reducing costs at a BI department. The biggest satisfaction for me has always been providing people with tools that make their work easier and that empower them. Those experiences have motivated me to start my own company with the mission of automating manual repetitive tasks and streamlining processes. Has any of you spent hours or even days working on a tedious task? Like data entry or copying and pasting information between different applications? You're not alone. The reality is that we generate enormous volumes of data each day when it comes to, and what comes with it is the overhead of processing that data. It is strange that we have invented lean manufacturing, just-in-time supply, optimized logistics, yet we still feel reporting needs through manual data manipulation. Information is still mostly processed via emails, spreadsheets, and PDFs at work. According to CIO Insight, US businesses waste 1.8 trillion annually, yes, trillion, on mundane tasks that could be easily automated. A global study of more than 10,000 knowledge workers revealed that they average more than 3 hours a day on manual repetitive tasks like data entry and reporting. It's almost 40% of their time. It's wasted, basically. And based on average national wage, this amounts to over 19,000 a year. This is for one knowledge worker only. Another study found that average amount of avoidable work in accounting departments can take up to 30% of the day. This equates to approximately 900,000 US dollars per year for an organization with 40 accountants in this case. An astonishing 90% of workers perform boring, repetitive tasks, which is poor use of their skills, of course. Another fascinating finding, employees switch between 35 job-critical applications more than 1,100 times daily, and they perform on average 134 copy and paste operations daily. And my personal favorite statistics, which comes from my experience, is 14,000 clicks. While streamlining a people analytics project together with the data science and talent development teams, I found out that the talent development specialist, one of only 2 in such a role, provided the staff data needed, pulling it from different applications, correcting mistakes, performing some calculations, some transformations on that data. And she had counted that it took her 14,000 clicks to prepare the data. Instead of developing talent, she was spending days on manual, repetitive, mundane tasks. And just to be clear, there weren't any bots doing her job at the same time. So it was her clicking around 14,000 times. All of these are examples of waste. I myself would rather avoid wasting precious resources. And if I can help it, I'll do whatever it takes to eliminate as much of it as I can. That waste, of course, translates into costs incurred by businesses, the cost in dollars, labor cost being the highest, of course, the cost of delay, a missed opportunity is expensive, delayed data could be critical for the business. The cost of bad data, I'll give you an example. Reporting wrong student data can, for example, result in suspending funding in education. And of course, the cost of low morale. Most knowledge workers are not happy performing mundane activities. They want to learn and grow. As we know, low morale is positively correlated with decreased productivity and high turnover. The remedy? Yes, you guessed it right, automation. And this is what I'll be talking about today. So let me get back in time a little bit. We've had optical character recognition, or OCR, for 100 years. This is recognizing text within a digital image, for example, from a scanned document. Then we had the computerized automation from the 70s until the 90s. The business process management was a huge thing in the 90s. And APIs, or application programming interfaces, and cloud applications were introduced about 20 years ago. Shortly after, in 2003, Robotic Process Automation, or RPA, emerged. Nowadays, RPA is empowered by API first and cloud first software products that makes it possible to run. The name is a bit weird, the robotic part of it, I guess. I personally like how Leslie Wilcox, a professor at the London School of Economics, refers to it. He says that the real value of a robot is that it takes the robot out of the human. I really like this. As a form of automation, the concept has been around for a long time in the form of screen scraping, user interface testing. RPA, though, is a significant evolution since it offers integrations with other systems. Just to give you an example of such a process, that would be receiving an email with an invoice attached, then extracting the data from that invoice, entering it into the bookkeeping system, and doing that kind of automatically. RPA is centered around automating manual, repetitive, and rule-based tasks, which do not require any complex decision-making. While digital process automation, on the other hand, or DPA, is focused on automating and orchestrating processes to improve the overall customer experience, for example. It has a more significant business impact. RPA and DPA are complementary to each other, and when deployed together, provide a powerful platform for digital transformation. A new buzzword, hyperautomation. This is a new concept, and it is the application of technologies like RPA, natural language processing, process mining, AI, to augment workers and automate processes in ways that are significantly more impactful than traditional automation. Hyperautomation is expected to be how next generation companies streamline business processes. It was identified by Gartner as one of the top 10 strategic technology trends in 2 consecutive years, last year and this year as well. In short, hyperautomation is when RPA met AI. And by the way, something, it should be the A in the AI should be automated, not artificial intelligence. How about that? Automated intelligence. Now that we know a little bit more about process automation, let's talk about when we should employ it and why. Whenever we have well-defined uniform tasks and they are performed frequently, we should be thinking about RPA. When timing is critical, we need the data delivered in that very second from one system to another, and that's critical. That's when we consider RPA. And data integrity, if it is crucial, we should also think about RPA, because the process will transform the data for us, and it will transfer the data for us without the human errors, which are quite a lot. Why should we consider automation? Of course, we'll save time and energy, and instead of busy work, we'll be doing high-value work. We'll save money, and we can those resources we have saved, we can allot them towards customer acquisition or customer care, basically anything which will help us grow and improve our business. I mentioned already eliminating human errors introduced in all those manual processes is huge. We'll also boost our creativity by reducing this mental overload. If anyone has tried to think creatively while being while doing all those repetitive tasks, will know that it just doesn't work. And last but not least, we will increase the motivation and job satisfaction of our people once unburdened. A very important point to make here is that the very strong return on investment which RPA has, and of course each company will have different experiences and will see different numbers, but it is expected that the ROI will be 30 to 200% in the first year of operation. And that's huge. Some industry trends. According to a market analysis report, the global RPA market size was valued at $1.4 billion in 2019, at 2.4 billion in 2020, and it is expected to reach almost 26 billion in 2027. That's a CAGR of almost 41%, which again is huge. Although the on-premise segment was 90% last year, the cloud segment is projected to have the fastest growth. The large enterprise segment led the market and accounted for more than 67% share last year. But again, the expectation is for small and mid-sized businesses to grow the fastest. As for verticals, banking, financial services, and insurance have the biggest share right now. The expectation is for pharma and healthcare to catch up. North America dominates the market with 37%. These trends are explained by rising demand for faster implementation and execution and scaling of the huge volume of data, and also by the need to reduce costs, of course. The pandemic is expected to reshape the business operations permanently. Therefore, companies will need RPA more than ever. In the Harvey Nash KPMG CIO survey this year, which had over 4,200 respondents from 83 countries, automation was identified among the top most important technologies in our new reality after security, customer experience, and cloud infrastructure. The use of robotics and AI is oftentimes presented as human versus machine, or as a threat to human jobs. But in fact, the best results will be achieved when robots and AI enhance what people can do. So a collaboration rather than a competition. Automation is already happening. It's not going away, and it's already making some parts of some jobs redundant. But as proved by hugely successful companies like Amazon, for example, automation is not about reducing the workforce. It is rather about repurposing it. Respondents in this survey stated that most roles are being created to support digital transformation in the post-pandemic reality, and those roles will be in data analytics and automation. Some exotic new roles are being created, as we can see, like chatbot manager, robot shepherd, feel-good manager, which is funny. A digital worker is an automated team member trained to carry out a business process just like any employee, only faster and without mistakes. All teams will have digital workers alongside humans in the future. The idea is, once again, not to replace people, but to free their time to be more, so that they're more impactful. And here is how an org chart would look like in the future, according to PwC. The digital workforce working alongside the human workforce. Some common RPA use cases, I guess everybody has heard of, read about, or even used those already. Call centers and help desks, for example, immense savings with regards to retrieving customer information very fast from different systems, providing resolution to simple issues or level 1 issues when a human is not even necessary. Claims administration, OCR technology, and AI are very helpful there. As part of auto insurance claims processing, for example, the image recognition is used very heavily. Credit card applications have been automated completely already which is great. An example in expense management, for example, all of us have filled in some expenses at our companies manually, while though all that information can be retrieved from the receipt, and that's all you need to do. Something else, pulling deals from websites, like getting the best flight deals. This is also something that we see and use every day. How we at Simply Flows see this opportunity. We see it as an opportunity for savings and efficiency gains. We see that expensive solutions exist nowadays, but the need for affordable solutions is huge, especially in this COVID-19 reality. Although the enterprise segment has been the most using any automation, probably because it's quite expensive. It's still quite expensive. SMBs are even more strained by lack of resources, so they would benefit even more by employing some sort of process automation. There is a huge demand for no-code, no IT tools nowadays. We know how restrained the IT departments and the developers usually are. We've all been there. But instead of relying on IT to provide a tool, how about we have that tool and give it in the hands of the people, which brings me to user empowerment. So the business users are the ones who know their business best, but they don't have any development or IT experience, and they get stuck. How about we provide the tools for them, and now they are empowered to use them and to create those automations for themselves. Another study from Blissfully showed that small businesses use 40 SaaS applications on average, and that number gets to over 200 for companies with over 1,000 employees. Nowadays, businesses use too many cloud applications, and most of them do not talk with each other. So the bigger the number of applications, the more opportunities for inefficiency. Employees get more and more trapped into this state of manually and repeatedly transferring data between different applications. What our solution is? We at Simply Flows are on a mission to help knowledge workers and businesses with their automation needs. We will connect their cloud applications and automate data transfer between them. We will speed up and streamline their processes. We will document and visualize the processes, which is a very important first step, because when you think about it, automation by itself won't fix a broken process. It will only make it run faster. So having the opportunity to actually document and visualize the processes is a very important, a must-have first step. We strive to provide the most seamless user experience possible. And as I mentioned already, no coding or IT experience is necessary to set it up, to maintain, or to scale. It's absolutely easy with Simply Flows. So basically, you will save, create, and innovate while we automate for you. What our focus is, after thoroughly researching the market, the competitors, surveying and interviewing potential users, and analyzing publicly available data, We have decided to focus on spreadsheets, email, project management tools, team collaboration tools, and also to have logic mapping and transformations in our application. Our core use cases will be data sync, transfer, consolidation, reporting, reminders and notifications. This goes with the timing of data. So getting that data right after it reaches the system. Also, we would be focusing on schedules and delays. You may need to run a workflow on a schedule, or there might be a case when it needs to be delayed or paused. Something else which we are thinking of is auditing, approval, and sign-off processes, which may include a human interaction and a manual step in the way, but this is something which is quite common in the business world nowadays. 3 months and 500 backlog items later, we have just started our journey. This is what our roadmap looks like. We'll be doing interviews, surveys, and beta testing. We need to find our product market fit. So all this work will be pointed towards finding our product market fit. Then, of course, we'll think about marketing strategy, choose our sales channels, etc. If anyone, I will say it again at the end, but if anyone is interested in helping in any way, please let me know. I mentioned already, we'll be implementing some transformations, conditional logic, working more on the recommendation system, and yeah, a lot more exciting features so that we can get from alpha, beta to release.